Hello, and welcome back to Sketch and Yap, where today I'm starting a new sketchbook. I'm very excited. I'm starting this Royal Talons art creation sketchbook in purple. I really like this brand of sketchbooks. It is one of my favorite brands of sketchbooks. I only use this brand. I really like it. This is the first purple one I have. So we're gonna decorate the cover and maybe the first spread. We'll see how it goes. For this cover, I knew that I wanted to start with a collage because I hadn't collaged in so long. So earlier I painted some pages with acrylic paint and let them dry. Now I'm making little leaves out of them because I want to put plants on my cover because I love plants so much. I love them so much. They're so cool. Plants are amazing. So now I'm making these leaves. Let me tell you, these leaves took kind of a long time. So I just ended up cutting leaf shapes. But yeah, since I like torturing myself, I had to make them with the little zigzag pattern on it too. And now I will also arrange them on before I glue them because I made the mistake in collaging before thinking that I knew what I was doing right as I was gluing, and then it turned out really bad. And so this one, it's the cover. I was kind of stressed. I want it to look good. And if you can't guess what kind of flower I'm making my favorite flower. It's technically not a flower, but I will let you sit in misery until I'm done. Okay, yeah, it's a dandelion. I love dandelions. They're my favorite flowers, even though they're not flowers. It is so unfair. They're so underrated. And in Romanian, they're called bășina porcului, which means pig fart. That's so dumb. They're so pretty. And they're edible. So if I'm stuck in the wild by myself in the Hunger Games, I can definitely eat these. And they're so cute. They're like yellow pom-poms. I love them. But yeah, enough about my rant about dandelion justice. I also, this took me kind of a long time. I also added one of my favorite animals, a ladybug, because insects are animals. They're in the animal kingdom. They are arthropods. So that technically makes them animals in the animal kingdom. I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that you can't have an insect as your favorite animal. They're not animals. Yes, they are. I choose to believe that they are. I love ladybugs. And the color combination is peak right now. I like these colors together. So now I'm pasting them all together, which is basically just me arranging them but gluing them. So I didn't think you want to see that again in normal speed. Because I wouldn't want to see this in normal speed too, but I had to do it. And it took me so long. And I think I still messed up the order in which I was supposed to glue them. So they turned out a bit different. But I think it looks fine either way. But I messed up where the dandelions are supposed to be, and now it looks kind of wonky compared to the first one. But it's okay. I added the ladybug, and everything is going according to plan. Also put some, because these guys have kind of sharp edges, so I know they were going to flake off over time, so I put some glue. I also wanted to collage a bunch of letters that said sketch, but I ended up scratching that because it was taking too long and I was lazy. So later I just wrote them with Sharpie because that was easier, and I could also fit the word sketchbook on the cover and not have to glue it. And a moment to appreciate my handwriting. I was doing my very best here, even though you can't see because my hand is in the way. I hate it when this happens. My hand is always in the way when I'm doing something here. But it's fine. It's fine. It's my 20th sketchbook. It's very exciting. And now I will paint the first spread. Oh man. Let me tell you, the first spread is so scary to me. So I started with something simple, just the start and the end date. Because the first page is kind of scary. It's scarier than the cover. It's like the first impression someone has when they look in your sketchbook. So it kind of has to look good. And I know this is a toxic mindset to have for a sketchbook. Sketchbooks are supposed to be for sketches. But it's super hard not to think that when people are always wanting to look in my sketchbooks. So I always feel the need to make it look good for them and not for myself. But I'm working through that. My last sketchbook was not very pretty because not many people got to see it, which is awesome. Except for when I posted it on shorts for the whole internet to see. But yeah, I'm drawing myself sitting off and looking into the distance. Oh, was I glitching? Or I guess I glitched a bit. I drew myself sitting into the distance because usually here I would draw a meet the artist page, but I didn't really feel like doing that. That was taking too long, and I really wanted to paint something. I wanted to paint something with watercolors and maybe acrylics. I'm really into mixed media. I love mixed media. It's just, I can use a bunch of different art supplies and get a really cool result. I'm drawing some clouds for the sky because this was supposed to be a blue sky, but then I drew that sun there and I was like, oh, I should make this a sunset. That would be so cool. And then the clouds end up disappearing in the drawing for some reason. I don't know. So here's the first paint layer, and lovely choice, Eliana, smack in the middle of the page with purple. I mean, I guess it matches the cover, but in the middle of the page, that's where you start? I was gonna do a sunset with like purple and blue at the top, and I don't know why I'm spreading purple all over the page. Why? Okay. Then I kind of painted it over one of the clouds. And okay, here I start with blue, but it looks more like indigo, and it's kind of, this part frustrated me a lot because I couldn't get it to look blue. It kept looking purple. Maybe that's because you started with purple and spread it on the whole page. And here's when I decided the clouds were useless. So I just painted that with purple. Purple, again. I don't even like the color purple that much, but I don't know why I was using it so much here. It's not my favorite color. It's probably the one I use the least. But here I am trying to make it blue again. It's like that meme in Aurora. Make it pink. No, make it blue. Oh, with some orange now. Okay, now it's finally starting to look like an actual sunset and not a finger painting. But it's still not looking very good. I don't know how it ended up. Like, I was getting kind of annoyed here. And I don't know why I put so much effort into that yellow part over there, because in the end, I would just paint over it with acrylics. I don't know why I put so much effort there. Here, I started working on the grass. This was the chillest part, honestly, the grass. I just painted it green. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not a very good at color theory. I'm way better at, like, not coloring stuff in. But I do like color, so it's conflicting. I love colorful things, but I hate coloring. It's not fun. And it's stupid, especially digitally. It's so weird because the colors turn out so flat. Here, at least it looks like I put effort into it. At digitally, it's so hard to color something nicely and make it look a little messy, you know? But here I was also trying to get it darker. If you know, with watercolors, it's very hard to get a color to look dark unless you know color theory, or unless you use very little water and just a lot of paint, which I wasn't really planning on doing. This part was also probably the most chill part. I was just coloring. I wasn't really focusing on making the colors look good, because I know with watercolors, they're not going to pay attention to me and stay inside their line. They were just gonna go all over the place. And here, I added way too much blush, like any TikToker makeup would do. I also kind of messed up here because I made the shading too dark instead of mixing it with water. I was super upset, but I just decided to add some strawberries. Maybe it would look better. And I colored my shoes red for some reason, even though my shoes aren't red. And here I forgot to color the pants. Still forgot to color them. I don't know why. They're still wet and I didn't notice. But for some reason, I did the grass in individual strands because I like torturing myself again. And I had a brilliant idea to make the sun out of acrylic paint. And I wanted to mix it with some baking powder so that it will be thicker, because I heard that was an art hack. But either I put something wrong, like I didn't put baking batter, I put something else, or I put too much of it, and it was just so lumpy, and it was kind of gross. And here I spent 15 minutes trying to mix up paint because I was so annoyed with it. It wasn't turning out right. It was super lumpy and kind of gross. It was not it. I was super frustrated. It took so long just to mix paint. And it's so lumpy. Why? Usually
one eternity later.
I have mixed paint with the baking powder, so it has worked. And I don't know what was wrong with this one. Maybe the paint is too cheap? I'm not sure. I got it for maybe 10 lei at a local stationery store, so maybe that's it. But anyway, I gave up, so I just painted with what I had because I didn't have any yellow paint to spare. I wasted it all on this. But it was thicker, which is good. But it was also kind of lumpy. And it wasn't even as thick as I expected it to be. But it was okay. It turned out fine in the end. I just hope that if people open the sketchbook, they ignore the lumpy paint. And they don't have to look at that. But yeah, I painted the sun's rays going into the sky. It's really illogical if you think about it. But honestly, I just didn't know what to do with the sky. I didn't want it to just be like a gradient. Because I'm very maximalistic, I think more is better, even though it's not, if you can tell by the paint, because I spent too much time mixing it, so now I should have just left it as it was, but I did it, and now it's fine. And I added some white too to try to make it look lighter, and you can tell I was very concentrated here because my head is sticking out from in the camera. You can see my head, my hair. I was very concentrated here for some reason, even though it's not that deep. It's just mixing white paint. But I think either I was really tired or I was just stressed that this was not turning out to be how I envisioned it. Even though I have impossibly high expectations for my art, even though I'm still learning. It's not like I'm Da Vinci or something. But I was just glad to be over. It was almost done, and now it was my favorite part, lining. My favorite part to draw, but not my favorite part to film because my hand is always in the way because I'm left-handed. I'm sorry that my hand is just wants to be the main character, and I don't know why. It's ensemble at best. Oh, here's when I finally figured out that my pants weren't colored in, so I was too lazy to use watercolors. But I finished the rest of the line work, if you can see, because of my hand. I wish my hands were visible. That would be so sick, but also kind of creepy. I don't know if I would like that or not, having a floating pen do my line art. But I don't know. Maybe I can make up a story where everyone's hands are invisible. Actually, that would be kind of terrifying. Imagine what people could do with invisible hands. My favorite part, to not talk about invisible hands anymore, my favorite part was lining the sun. For some reason, I think it was just very satisfying to have line work on the sun, even though it didn't make any sense for it to be there, but it was fine. Overall, I think this turned out pretty okay, and I also added the date, which I finished this drawing. I think it turned out fine, but thank you so much for watching me half yap, half crash out about art and ladybugs. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye!